an article here, which I think includes people like Jude Law, Sarah Hadland, Nick Ferrari, obviously not happy about a development that's proposed on a car park site in Blackheath.
I think if you read the article and that's all you read, you would be, oh my God, this is a complete travesty. How can they put these little village on the edge of London? They're building so many homes. If you look at it, I'm going to pop up on Landstack here. If you look at the planning application, central London, next to a train station, on a car park, popped onto Google Street View, the car park looks pretty grim. There's not a lot going on, right? It is the most ideal development site in this day and age that you could find.
Got to think about the poor celebs.
No, I know.
Hard done by.
Everybody who complains about the housing crisis, left, right or centre, you're not building on any greenfield land, no green belts, brownfield, the car park's underused, gentle density, there's a good number of houses, you're making use of the space, you're not just putting up £1 million houses, trying to put flats in. You know, they could do massively worse than this. In order to hit the housing numbers, this is the sort of planning application you have to put through. Let's also look at the number of homes that have been built in London in the last year.
I'm trying really hard to fight the other argument here. It's quite a known area in Blackheath, used for the market. There's mention of the locals dog walking.
That's the one thing that you'd think, okay, they need to find a good solution for that. It cannot possibly be beyond the wit of organisers. I'm just looking on Google Maps. There are plenty of other open spaces there where they could put the market. In fact, other car parks. If it's that popular, they must be able to figure that out. And that is not something that should prevent a good number of homes being built. Honestly, it's the most obvious planning application that should be granted. This is the sort of thing where if this does get rejected, the Secretary of State should step in and should grant permission.
So are we saying sort of Jude, Nick, Sarah, you just got to grow up?
Yeah, they do. I read the article and there was a lot of people saying, oh gosh, when construction starts, I'm going to move. I do feel sympathy for that in the sense of, look, if you've got construction outside your door, right, then it's not going to be nice.
You're also living in central London.
That can happen to anybody. It's just the way that the country works. If we want to build homes, we have to accept that some people are going to have homes built next to them and it's going to be unpleasant.
And we literally did a podcast about building around train stations and on brownfield land.
Everything that the government's been saying, everybody who's been saying about where we should be building houses, this ticks all the boxes. The problem is that the Telegraph in that article do not fight that side. You know, there is no mention of it. They say they tried to contact the government, the district council, and they can't comment on it. There was no sort of pro-development angle there at all.
The developer was pro.
Well, of course, yeah. And obviously the classic arguments come out about, oh, you know, they're going to make a load of profit and all this sort of stuff. It will get granted. I have absolutely no doubt about that. So it's just one of those things where I don't think the article does any favours to anybody. It's painting the wrong picture. People reading that, if they agree with it, are getting the wrong idea about development. They're getting the wrong idea about whether this site should come forward or not. And if you contrast this with other places where these homes could be built, it's no-brainer. You know, it's significantly better than any other.